Namaskar. I'm Kumar Rakesh. We are watching Global Governance News TV. Now, today we'll discuss the European Union India relations and development, how development is going on. And we have panelist Vandana Jhingan, senior journalist from the Chicago, and Rakesh Tiwari ji from Toronto, Canada. And just two more will join later. So, as we know, how the India-EU relation, if you uh, see the India perspective, so since early 1960, the India being amongst the first countries to establish diplomatic relations with the European Economic Community. After that, it became the European Union, European Council, and cooperation agreement signed in 1994 to the bilateral relationship beyond the trade and economic cooperation at the fifth India EU summit at the Hague, Netherlands, in 2004, the relationship was upgraded to a strategic partnership. The two sides adopted a joint action plan in 2005, which was reviewed in 2008, that provided for a strengthening dialogue and consultation mechanism in the political and economic spheres, enhancing trade and investment and bringing people to cultures together. Political dialogue is also going on. The first India summit took place in Lisbon in June 2000 and marked a watershed in the evolution of relationship. Since then, the 12 annual summits have been more than 12. Last one, the 2013, and then 2020 also. So, so we can say like the India and EU interact regularly in the foreign minister level. 23rd India EU minister level took place in 13. After that, in the, since 2014 to 20, uh, just you have just seen and how actually the 12th India EU summit was very important for the two countries. And in this, on the eve of this summit, President Van Rompuy stated 12th India-EU summit will confirm that EU and India are strengthening and rebalancing the partnership in its political dimension, that bringing our relationship new heights. And is regarding EU enforced carbon tax on the filters landing and the passing through European skies that was opposed by the many other countries, including India, China, US, and Russia. European Union, India had the 12th annual summit, and 12, as I told you. And then after that, if the summits, annual summits, the first, after the Lisbon, the successful venture, they laid the roadmap of the future partnership. And the joint action plan also just discussed and already working on that. And the 15th India EU summit held virtually in 2020 due to just a pandemic. The ambitious roadmap to 2025 document was adopted. The 16th India summit is scheduled for just 21, but this is going to be, I think, held and summit level belongs to provide a platform. And so many discussions is going on this platform, just for climate change, data protection regulation, the maritime cooperation, and all those. So trade and I think you are just Canada and US are also the very nice relationship. You are a part of the G8, also as a member G20. So how this relation with India is going on, we'll discuss on this issue. So I'll take Rakesh Tiwari ji from how just you see analyze the India relationship regarding development and the politics and the international cooperation.
Hello.
Yeah,
Okay. Thanks. Thank you so much, Kumar Rakesh ji, for having me as a panelist in your Esteem channel. And Vandana ji is also here. So, your subject matter, as I said, always I admire it. You bring out the subject matter which is like no one else. Uh, although I had something in my mind that you might be bringing, but doesn't matter. EU India relations and development, when we are talking about it, in my understanding, European Union, when it was formed it has shown, it was giving us some different glimpse of the future. Means the way European Union is getting united, or all the European countries getting united. Similarly, this thing will start happen all around the world, be it in North America, South America, Asia, other places too as well. It didn't happen. It didn't go like that, because Britain has fallen apart from EU, but still remaining of the EU is seems intact. They're balancing, they're managing themselves quite uh, not bad, I will say, without the Britain as well. Uh, Now coming to the India's relation, somehow I will say that yes, they have a good relations with that, and EU was able to establish themselves as a strong bloc in the world politics. We are in North America, me and Vandana ji, we are in North America here, okay, and we know that EU is a strong bloc. India's relationship when it comes with the EU, as you have mentioned in so many ways, that India has supported, Bharat has supported, Hindustan has supported EU, and EU is doing vice versa. But at the some levels, as you know, that EU has also criticized Bharat over the humanitarian issues and all other things. My I do want to you know say this, and I hope I'm not going overboard on the topic. Uh, Everybody is right now, whosoever they are, intellectual or in media, we are closely watching what is happening in Afghanistan. At this time, what is EU and Bharat will take their course, because it's right at the corner of Bharat. uh, you can say that is there, and what is happening over there is a bit worrisome. What is EU's stance is going to be, it is there or whatnot, you can put a better shed and light on it. So far so good. I do not see any harm, or any obstacles or any hurdles between EU and Bharat relationship. uh, there is more chances, because let me say this, just a few years back, 2 3 years 4 years back, EU was our European Union countries, they were investing in China in greater deal, and for various reasons. But now, as China's, you can see the mask has come off during this COVID period. I'm very sure that EU countries are thinking over, and they are coming back to they are coming to Bharat to invest, and to have the better relationship. I will say the EU nations and the Western world has for long period, they have like used Bharat as not used, I will say, they have treated Bharat like a pariah. Okay, pariah. Okay, in that way. Means, they will go hand in hand with the Pakistan. They will go hand in hand with any other countries. But Bharat, very critical eyes they had. Means sometimes like, but now it seems in the whole Asia, if you talk about it, there is no another choice, because Bharat is strengthening democracy, strengthening Hindustan, is strengthening the democracy all over the world. And
Okay.
be it the matter of Afghanistan or any other country or Pakistan, Bharat's voice, Hindustan's voice should be heard strongly and inequivocably.
Okay. So, if you just think, just in the May 8th, the Indian EU leaders meeting, so the joint statement was just placed before that. So, in the subject, that there are 33 points already discussed, but surprisingly, that is not maybe the informal matter of one issue, but UN issue, UN Security Council issues already discussed, and I can just read some of the points. The member states have read uh, uh, format, just how the pandemic is going on. So note that the EU Summit 2000 and further strengthen the relationship. The focus and as I told you, the set out the media India EU roadmap to 2025. So both EU and India agreed as the two largest democracies for the security, prosperity, and sustainable development in multipolar world. So the agreed build on these convergence for the first new synergy, jointly contributing to safer, greener, cleaner, more digital, resilient, and stable world, and with line with the 2030 agenda for sustainable development and Paris Agreement. As you know, sustainable development goals is the agenda of the United Nations adopted 2015 uh, by in UNGA. Surprisingly, I think I was also there, and just how the Prime Minister Modi just agreed all the points. So and all country members are agreed on the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. So there also this is also the issue between the India-EU relationship, and also thus the rule-based multilateralism that tackling the current and the future global challenges with United Nations at score, instead a stable trade environment with the WTO center. In this context, they discussed for the reform renewed the effective multilateral system, which is the purpose to reflect the contemporary realities. And India membership in UN SC, as we know, 2021-22, and the Human Rights Council 29-21, and the forthcoming G20 presidency in 2023. This is a great achievement for the country. So, as important opportunities to boost further cooperation on the international fora, and building health preparedness and resilience as COVID-19, as we know how just uh, affected globally. So, and G20 summit in Rome and this year, they also discussed an universal, safe, and equitable, affordable access to COVID-19 vaccine diagnostic and the tools accelerator, and the vaccine math 3, the format, for 90 countries also appreciated EU and member states how India just initiated, and the global health emergencies all agreed the world together, and protect the planet and the fostering the green growth just for the this is an issue the climate change, and uh, include the Paris agreement, and also the climate change is at 28th April 2021, the India and EU high level clean energy and climate uh, partnership. So with all the issues, I think the sustainable modernization of the economies and the cooperation management, EU water partnership, and the sustainable food system and the upcoming Union food system, fostering the inclusive growth, trade, connectivity, and technology. So these are all the issues just we discussed in the May 2021 meeting. So on this contrary, and they already mentioned the as you Rakesh Tiwari ji mentioned the Iran nuclear deal and Afghanistan. So, but not detailed, but that is also matter of concern for the both countries. So, development of the respective neighborhoods. So, either Myanmar, Belarus, and Ukraine. So, they have adopted the 4 May already, Afghanistan, but so, as you know, the sharing the common interest for the peaceful democratic, and they are also discussed on the African issue. So, how the both countries' issues are just correlated and affected. So, they already discussed. So, my question with the Vandana ji, yeah, just how just to go the India is with the EU India relations sustainable development goal, and also the promoting the human rights, including the gender equality and women empowerment in all spheres of life. They reaffirm. So, how do you think the women empowerment in European Union and India with the gender equality?
Namaskar and good evening to everybody. As we are, India is getting into India at 75. We are all going to be celebrating this whole month and the
Yeah.
year. and the fervor. So it is not about the need of the India. It is the need of the world to partner with India, to be honest.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what. Let this be EU,
great.
let this be North America, because they have tested all the soils, huh? As Rakesh
Yeah,
ji did mention, because they were testing the soil, let it be with Pakistan, with other nations, but then they came up like India has never invaded anybody. India has been doing, and being the largest democracy, we know that. So India can have its own teething troubles, but when it comes to outside, it is not affecting. Talking about the human relationships and the woman means like empowerment,
women
as you
empowerment. Yeah, gender
yeah,
equality.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Huh. So as we mentioned, India is India has taken a lead. Like the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi of India means like means at that very time we were so very little, because in never other Western countries even thought of it, like to have a lady lead. So India had the lady leader, and it is in some parameters India is setting actually the parameters, to be honest, but it is in the interest of the world to for India to show it to the world that what we have done so far, our accomplishments, besides the party politics. Let's be this, like there has to be some charter. This India has already achieved. You cannot even think of it. India has already done it. You have not even means you cannot even dream of it. So there are so many those kind of things. Like when we talk about industries, like what India the capacity is. Why China became so powerful? Because who made China? Because it started with US and the other nation followed, because but India should not have fallen for China for their goods and stuff like that, because where India missed it, uh, we do have manpower, that is everybody knows that, and there to have a self confidence, like abhi aap baat karte hain hum swabhiman bharat abhi, like those kind of schemes, if they would have been there 20 years ago, I'm just going to say means like at 15 to 20 years ago, things would have been totally different. Why do you have to depend on a Diwali light to China? Because and the Diwali light of China just works only 1 year, maybe not even for the full Diwali. You may try to plug in for 1 day, second day your Diwali may, because Diwali is 5 days event. So the quality versus the quantity. And then we noticed that the other countries also started coming. Woman empowerment, you talked about. I'm going to talk about the context of United States of America. Means like, that Hillary Clinton tried to be the president of United States of America. It didn't happen. But now, because but always remember, Kamala Harris not been an elected position. She has been a partnered position, because the election was for the Joe Biden. Because in the US, how does it is like, they partner with that the president who has been nominated to the president. So he picks his running mate basically. So there is no means like you don't vote for, because for the vice president thing. And in European Union, we have, like in England had the Lady Thatcher long ago. We know that. Hmm. And relationship of uh, you asked about human relations, which is like
gender equality. Gender
yeah.
equality.
Okay. So
Yeah,
gender equality, like I mean, like in India, when we talk about our ancient India, women used to be treated as a Lakshmi, to be honest. Like
yeah,
in our because, but now that thing has to be brought back. If we bring our Sanskriti back, and that is to be shown to the world. It is not that the woman, I mean, like in your own homes, let's see that. So, what we are showing in the media, we should show the right picture with the right narrative and with the right perspective. Then the image of, because who builds the image of a nation, of a home, of a culture? It is what it goes out. But you have people like there are so much counter happening in the Western world about India, human gender equality or human rights violation. Do we see that in the other nations? We do have here too. I mean, like That is everywhere. That is a mindset of people. So how do you present yourself? That itself is, are you bold enough to accept it? Because there are things, are we there to counter them? We cannot just keep quiet on it. Oh, it
Yeah,
will settle
yeah.
in. So that is where, let this be, now they have 303. If they are going ahead for 2024, so they should have their own, which is still lacking. The media means, like, when we talk about, like, you have to get the information about India. You do have embassies outside, right? You do have consulate outside. What is their role? Their press and information bureau, they are just made to just be a division, or are they really actually working on it? Tiwari ji must be doing more of lobbying for his own motherland, so am I, than the people, those who've been appointed for it. So there has to be, they should also get their roles and checked
You
back.
all, Vandana ji, you all people just doing for your mind and by heart, selflessly for the country. But the people who are appointed, and they are only doing their job, but they are not honestly doing their job. That is also matter of concern.
They get paid for it. We
Yeah,
pay our own money. We put money
yeah,
from our own pocket.
yeah.
So
So
that's what we have seen it. Let this be like telling the world about what CA is about. It should not be my role and responsibility. It should have been come from government of India, when they have, how many countries they do have consulates and all. They should have explained to the US
yeah,
House of Congress, this is all.
yeah.
So they should not have been, because, but that has not been done. Why do you see these kind of protests, and why do you see that anti-India resolutions coming in various different cities, and they are getting passed, approved? Because the elected officials of our country are not even aware of it. So that should have been the role of the people sitting. And there,
Okay.
what is the role of a diplomacy? They have to play that.
Yeah. Tiwari ji, just as Vandana ji mentioned, I'm talking about the India-EU relation on the subjects, the cooperation of international security and the non-proliferation development, countering terrorism and radicalization and violent extremism. I think these are the subjects that affected globally. I think you are living in Canada, just concerned with India, that is a Bharat. Vandana ji living in USA, concerned that just first Indian, then American, just you are first Indian, then Canadian. But the concern about the terrorism and radicalization and violent extremism, how do you analyze and how do you just think like on these issues?
Well, thank you so much, Kumar Rakesh. You brought some interesting point, and I was just a thought came to my mind. We are all on the same page, however, but the effect of colonization is so hard, even for me too, to get rid of with the word India. But it's okay. Leaving that aside, but you
We
brought the
all are
subject.
struggling. That so
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
with
Me
you
too.
actually. That is a
Me too.
preamble
Me too.
already.
Yes,
Some
yes,
so
indeed.
anti-India people they have just fixed on that.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
very
But
soon,
but
yeah,
but
yeah.
if we keep on trying, definitely we'll have some positive
You
results.
you can move. You are just a hero of the already making the movement. So you can
Thank you.
start movement from
Yes,
Canada and
definitely.
USA. So
This is
India
our
nahi Bharat
movement.
bolo like that.
This is a
Yeah,
movement, and yes, and this is a great to be start in 2021,
yeah,
when the world is moving in another era, another
yeah.
way. Now, coming back to the when you mentioned about this anti-terrorism situation and
Extremism and
radicalization,
radicalization. Yeah,
radicalization.
yeah,
See, I cannot get my mind out of Afghanistan right now. Let me say this. It's just
yeah.
like it is happening and it is bothering me. Every second, we know that
It has
so far
global
so good
impact. You
now.
are right. Yeah,
Yeah,
it is with
so
the
far
global
so good
impact.
now, which is the latest news by approximately 2 hours back, that Talibani forces are just 90 kilometers away from Kabul,
Kabul.
and more than if I'm not wrong here, the calculated what the calculation was there, that about 50 to 100,000 people are fleeing from the area. And when we are talking about women's right, children's right, all those are getting violated. Why I'm bringing this topic, this particular area here, and Taliban has said very clearly, said that anybody whosoever found any stress of westernization, they use the word, okay, if you are wearing western clothes, if you do any such things in their mind which is western, whatever, maybe it is not western, but in their mind if it is western, you are going to be killed. So we are in this chaos, and I'm wondering really what European Union and the whole world is saying. US is already criticizing a position. Fox News I was watching, and they're saying this is what our soldiers have bled their blood for that. Okay, uh, uh, so and so what we are, this issue, if it is not taken care, and I'm just wondering who is naive here. Means I could see, and the whole world could see very clearly that the power behind Taliban is Pakistan. Very clearly,
Yeah,
brutally. This is in
that
front
is a
of
matter of concern also.
this is.
That is
And
also a matter of concern in yeah,
yeah,
EU-India relation
Bharati
also.
embassy is, everybody is pulling out. Britain has pulled out. So what are we leaving? So seems like United Nations has failed completely. Not only that, European Union, if the world doesn't do anything, in my understanding, everybody has failed. Afghani people, okay, they have cooperated. All those liberal-minded the people who are working for democracy, they have been like left alone to miss. They never invited anybody first and the first place. But I will urge from this forum definitely to Bharat, my beloved country, European Union, of course, them too, and the whole world to interfere to do the right thing in Afghanistan. Else, world must watch what else is going to happen. Okay, what can
Yeah.
happen if we can just cannot even imagine.
So most of the European countries just connected somehow with the Afghanistan and the border and the other area. So that also matter of concern. Just you are stating, Vandana ji, if you see the on the issue of the climate change, actually, as we know, the Indian media and the global media has just turned in the different way. Just only they socialize the issues and they only believe on that, and the politicizing the issues and socialize, but not they are talking the development. So I just try to uh, change some tracks, some to development and the politics for the perspective. What is role of media as we think? So we can go like that. So if you see the on the cyberspace, yeah, this is also a matter of concern for the all country for the maintaining the internal security and just for the support of the uh, whole security and like that. So, how do you think on the security, the cyber crime and responsible behavior for the secure cyberspace, the stable and secure cyberspace?
Secure cyberspace is the need of the second, not even a minute, to be honest. When
Yeah,
we talk about, because there is so much going on, as Rakesh ji brought a subject of even Afghanistan. Earlier, this information to come to him would have taken time. But when he's sitting there, he said that they are just 90 meters away from that. Can you
90
imagine
kilometers.
that? Huh?
Kilometers.
yeah,
When-
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So when
yeah,
we talk about that, so in today's time, everyone claims to be the reporter. I think it should have gone more on a positive side to show, but it has gone. We have started abusing this, to be very upfront. There are certain good points about it, like which is coming, but maximum is like it is a risk to the children's security. It is a
yeah,
risk for women's security. People are not even aware of it, what to get to the face. Means like, when you have your own profile, privacy is not even a subject that should have been evaded from all the dictionaries of the world, to be honest. There is no privacy. The minute you have this gadget in your hand, you have no privacy. And in today's time, when we talk about, because who's more vulnerable? Our senior people. Like,
yeah,
they are
yeah,
not even aware of it. By accidentally, they do click something, or when there is a call comes, they are so terrified. These people say, oh, we are from IRS, you owe us this much. and so forth. And means there are so many incidents, we can keep going on and on and on. When we talk about why people supposed to know, like, people are feeling very happy about, I checked in here, because it is not checked into the Facebook, the Mark Zuckerberg thing. It has been checked into the whole world. You're open where you are right now.
Yeah.
So when we talk about, I was in the hospital, I'm just telling you very simply. So I said, can you email me this? They said, no, 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 it's a HIPAA. I said, don't give me in today's time, like, HIPAA. You're trying to do HIPAA. I mean, is it really that things are, means there is a privacy kind of thing existing? So we just discussed, I educated them something. I said, this is my record. I just want it. I know, because I don't have right now the facility of scanning it. So things on paper are different, things in real are totally different, to be honest. We do talk about the privacy of, as in the cases of rape victims, we just see that. And somebody, a opposition leader in Bharat, tries to go and just tries to
Yeah.
sympathizing with them, and then they talk about them, and then the media is covering. You've already exposed them to the world. So then
Yeah.
after trading, means that is what, like, so when you talk about what is the need of the cyber security, so when we use a word 911, so 911 is a word that we use for a extreme emergency kind of thing in the case of that. So that is what is needed, and it is not responsibility of one nation. These is the responsibility, as he said, UN has completely failed. What are they doing? What are they doing? Let this be, did they put China responsible for COVID-19? No, they didn't. Because are you in hand in gloves with all those kind of, UN should not be coming. Let this be why these bodies were made. Let this be WHO, not to come into the pressure of any nation. Let even in the pressure of US also. I'm being honest. Because then what will happen? What is the purpose of having the small nations then? They are also, because some country which has like a very small size with a very small GDP, but they are independent, they are also democrat, they do have right to live too. So we should not be. So it is very important, it is need of the time. Let this be G8, G20, all these nations. It should have been the number one priority of the United Nations to bring this, as we talked. So if some country wants to introduce a bill, like Modi ji did it for International Yoga Day, if he introduces it, how many countries going to join? 181 countries joined right then and there. So that is what is needed right now.
Okay. Thank you, Vandana ji. Tiwari ji, how just you see the EU-India relation, and as a journalist, how just think how it will be all more good for the trade and development and the scientific cooperation and all.
Well, Kumar Rakesh, let me say this. This is, as Vandana ji said very rightly, uh, Western world, especially when we are talking about EU, European Union, they don't have any another choice. Bharat is the giant in the area, a huge world's greatest democracy,
But
largest.
you also union of the 28 countries, and so
Absolutely.
many developed countries also part of the European Union.
Yes, and I
Yeah.
will say that yes, so definitely. So, in my understanding, European Union must put Bharat as a number one priority country in that region for the trade and businesses, because strengthening Bharat is strengthening democracy, is strengthening European Union as well. I respect the European Union for a couple of reasons, definitely, because that as they brought each other together, and the way they have done open the boundaries for each other, and not fighting as they were used to fight among each other in the previous centuries. I will say similar things Bharat can do in the area, but for that Bharat need a lot of support from European Union in order to make that whole region peaceful, because without peace is not possible. So we European, I do believe European Union, not I mean European Union is now, but prior to that, when they divided Bharat in two parts, at that time the some European countries have played major part in it, definitely for their own interest. But now they have realized it. So supporting Bharat, so similar kind of situation can happen. What happened in European Union too, for the prosperity, because people over there, they are great people. But if you put I would say dictatorship in the power, if you support dictatorship like in Pakistan, or in Taliban in Afghanistan, or in Bangladesh and a lot of other places, then is no use. So when you have a power is great thing, but using
Yeah.
the power afterwards, utilizing the power, having the power is one thing, utilizing the power.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
will say this is the time to utilize the power, especially, again I'm repeating, that we are failing Afghanistan, then it is United Nations will be as like League of Nations happened in the after First World War. So
Okay.
this is what my idea. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
so nice of you. I think both of you just stated Afghanistan also the a global concern now, and also mentioned in the India EU just agreement. They have already mentioned, already signed a different strategic paper also. But after the 2021 summit, the both country India EU roadmap set 2025 as well as the new decisions taken, and this is also significant. The both two largest democracy, India and EU, have the common interest in ensuring the security, prosperity, and sustainable development in a multipolar world. They agreed on the further build on these convergences and forced a new synergy for jointly contributing to a safer, greener, cleaner, more digital, resilient, and stable world in line with 2030 agenda for sustainable development and Paris Agreement. So nice, both of you. Just you joined this show and just stated your so wonderful views and thoughts just for this EU-India relationship development and the global perspective. Thank you very much. And just see, watch, and share the Global Governance News TV. Jai Hind. See you.